Hi, everybody. It's Leanne. I'm so excited for you to be here. Can somebody email me at leannesoller@gmail.com just to let me know if they can hear me and see me okay before we get started? And then if no one can hear me, that's no good. So I'm just going to open my email quickly. So if someone can just let me know. So email me at leannesoller@gmail.com and let me know if you can hear me and if you can see me. I had a chat box in my webpage. For some reason, there were only a maximum of 5 people allowed. So I deleted the chat box. So because obviously I'm hoping that there'll be more than 5 people and I would be happy to answer your questions, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get the chat going. So you'll have to email me your questions. All right, so I'm just waiting for an email from someone to let me know that everything's working okay. And we'll get started. How is everyone doing? So while I'm waiting, I will let you know that I am in Montreal, Canada. It is a beautiful sunny day here. It's actually 8 p.m. right now, Eastern time. And yeah, it's going really well. So I'm still waiting for an email, hoping that you guys can hear me and see me okay. I hope so. I'd love to get started. Okay, awesome. Yay, I'm so excited, guys. I just got some emails saying that you can hear me and see me, so that is so great. I'm super excited that you guys are all here and that you decided to join me tonight. We have quite a bit of content to get through, and I just wanted to welcome you all and say thank you, thank you, thank you for taking this time out of your day. We probably won't be here for the full 90 minutes because I had added in some extra time to go through Q&A, question and answer. But I'm not sure if you heard earlier on in the broadcast, the chat box that I had downloaded for my site only allows 5 viewers. So I'm not that tech savvy. I'm actually really happy that I was able to get this going for you. So I won't be able to take any Q&A, unfortunately, by the chat. However, after I go through the content, I will allow you guys to ask me questions by email. So if any emails come through during the call that I can answer, then I will definitely do so at the end of the training. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Leanne Soller. I am the host of the Sweet Sleep Summit, which is probably how most of you heard from me. I live in Montreal, Canada, and I'm just so, so, so excited to share with you everything that I know tonight. And I really, really hope that you learn a lot from this webinar. So bear with me while I start the screen share, because I do have a web presentation for you today. So you'll have some lovely looking slides to look at. Okay. So I'm just going to get the screen share going here. And here we go. Okay, so it looks like I'm screen sharing. Oh, I don't know what this is all here. Take this off. Okay, so let's get started. All right. So tonight I'm going to be sharing with you some really great tips that I've used myself to go from being tired and stressed and not sleeping to being vibrant and healthy and sleeping through the night. So the title of my talk is How to Sleep 8 Hours Without Waking Up Once. So first I'm going to tell you a little bit about my story and how I was able to go from stressed and tired to sleeping through the night. So I'll share you a little bit about how I made that transition. And then I'll share with you a little known reason why you may not be sleeping. And this is really interesting, and I'm sure many of you haven't heard of this before, so I'm hoping it'll be a new one for all of you. And then the rest of the webinar, we'll be going through a 5-step process that is actually going to help you solve this little known problem so that you can finally sleep through the night. And make sure that you don't leave us till the end, because I'm going to share with you an amazing opportunity that you're not going to want to miss. So by the end of this webinar, I hope that you'll be equipped with some new information that you can implement right away so that you can start sleeping better than a baby tonight. So why should you listen to me? Why are you here tonight? Well, you're probably tired of being tired. You've probably tried every supplement, meditation app, natural remedy, changing your diet. I'm sure you've tried everything to get some sleep, but it just seems like nothing's working for you. And I get it, because I was there as well. The thing is, unless you know why you're waking up in the night and why you're not sleeping through the night, it's pretty difficult to figure out exactly what you need to solve your problem, right? So unless you figure out what it is that's keeping you up, you'll keep trying things that may or may not work. They may or may not be effective for you because they're not getting to the root of the problem. So here's why this webinar is different, and what I'm going to be teaching you is different. I'm going to be sharing with you a little known problem that may be causing you to lose sleep. And then I'm going to give you a 5-step approach to solving the problem. The great thing is that even if your sleep issues are not specifically caused by this problem, this 5-step process that I'm going to teach you tonight will definitely help you with your sleep, and it will help you be healthier. So it's a win-win, and I'm sure that you're going to love it. So why am I here? I want to share with you a little bit about my struggle and my journey. I'm sure many of you know through my webinar, through my sleep summit, that I've struggled with sleep. When I first started my company as a health coach, I'm sure many of you know, if you're just starting out on a new endeavor, it is so overwhelming. It's exciting, but it's overwhelming. And we often have no idea what we're doing. When I started, I was just a learning junkie. I would spend hours and hours on the computer learning about all the different techniques and tools to grow my business. And I came out of it totally overwhelmed, even more overwhelmed than I had been before, because I had hundreds of different ideas for building my business, building my company. And I really didn't know what order to put these in. I didn't know what to focus on. So I would just try one thing after another, after another, after another. And I'm sure you can imagine that moving from one task to the next, to the next, to the next was really unfocused. And I just never felt like I was moving forward. So I would go to bed at night, and I'll just say this, I never had any issues falling asleep, but in the middle of the night, I would wake up around maybe 1:30 or 2. I'd wake up and it was like wide awake. I felt like it was the middle of the day. I actually felt like I kind of was going through somewhat of a panic attack, an anxiety attack. You know, heart palpitations, super, super sweaty. It felt like I had just had a really, really bad nightmare. And so what was I thinking about during that time? Well, I was just so worried that I had embarked on this new exciting opportunity to become a health coach, and maybe I was going to fail, and maybe it wasn't going to work. And, you know, maybe the career that I had come from, which was academia, maybe that was where I should have stayed, and maybe this was the wrong idea for me. So I would be thinking through all those things in the middle of the night, and I'm sure, as you can imagine, I just could never get back to sleep after that. So for many months, I looked at articles, I tried to change my diet, I tried supplements, I tried deep breathing exercises. I tried yoga before bed, meditation. Let me tell you a little bit about me and meditation. I'm one of those people that my brain just does not shut off. So anytime someone's telling me now, shut off your brain, I just go, no, 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 no. So as much as I absolutely love the idea of meditation, and I do have it on my goals list to complete that in the next year, but it just was not working for me. So what I realized though during that time was I was just like trying all these different things and nothing was working. And what I decided was that I really needed to get to the source of the problem. Rather than focusing on the symptoms, I had to treat the disease. So I started reading about why I might not be sleeping, instead of just finding those quick fixes, which were not getting to the root of the problem. And I figured out that my emotions, the way I was eating, the way I was living, my health, they were not supporting my sleep and they weren't supporting my healthy lifestyle. And I think that a lot of that had to do with being super stressed over changing careers and, spending so much time sitting in front of my computer working. I didn't have enough time to exercise, or rather, I didn't take the time to exercise. I didn't take the time to eat well, and I just felt really stressed and frustrated all the time. And so I was kind of at a crossroads because I knew what I needed to do. I knew I just needed to buckle down and change my lifestyle, but I knew that it would be hard and I knew that it would take work. But I knew that I could either continue down the path that I was headed, which was being unhealthy, being stressed out, being frustrated, being tired, or I could make a change and I could live my healthiest, happiest life. So I decided to work as hard as I needed to get some relief and to finally get some sleep. And I'm going to tell you right now, it was not easy. Don't get me wrong, there was a lot of trial and error, even after I figured out what I'm about to teach you on this webinar. So I would fall off the wagon, and I still do from time to time. I would eat something heavy before bed, drink too much wine, let myself get frustrated over things, not focus. And it still happens to me once in a while. I'm human, I'm not perfect. But the thing is, now that I know this process, this 5-step process that I'm going to teach you on this webinar, now that I know what I need to do to get back to where I need to be healthy, to be happy, the transition back to that routine is just a lot easier. And I'm able to get back to a good night's sleep quite easily. So I'm happy to say that it's been about 8 months or so since I've started working on this 5-step process that I'll share with you tonight. And I'm really happy because I've been sleeping through the night and I've been waking up feeling super refreshed, really energized, and awesome. So if you're not getting a good 8 hours of sleep per night, let me just tell you that you are not alone. Did you know that only 35% of Americans get the recommended 8 hours of sleep per night? And so I'm sure this is quite shocking to you, but maybe not, because a lot of you on this webinar are having issues with sleep, and I'm sure many of you know other people that also have sleep issues. So why does this matter, or does it matter? I'm sure that you've heard the term, I'll sleep when I'm dead. But the thing is, there's so many health issues that can occur with lack of sleep that you probably shouldn't wait to sleep till when you're dead. So I'm sure that you've heard so many people tell you this over and over and over again. It's so dangerous to not get enough sleep. You really need to get better sleep. And you're probably like, okay, you're preaching to the choir here. I know, I need to sleep. I just can't. It's impossible for me. I've tried everything. But bear with me while I give you some of the reasons why we really should strive to get that 8 hours a night. So we all know that lack of sleep can cause mood swings, brain fog, but it can also increase your risk for developing serious health issues like heart disease, stroke, and diabetes. Lack of sleep also causes motor vehicle accidents. It makes you stupid and it makes you forgetful. It prematurely ages your skin, and it increases the risk for depression. It also makes you fat and decreases your libido. So we all know we want to be sleeping. We really should be sleeping. So why are we not sleeping? The age-old question. Okay, I'm not trying to be exhaustive by this list by any means. I'm sure many of you have some of these issues on the screen here. I could talk the entire 90 minutes about reasons for waking up. So I'm not going to go through the ones that are on the top of the screen. There's one specifically that I want to mention to you, and that's going to be the topic of this webinar. So the thing is, I'm sure that you've thought about each of these different reasons for waking up, and I'm sure that you've tried techniques to combat all of them, and so did I. But the one that I hadn't thought about, and the one that was like a huge aha moment for me, it ended up being the most important to my success in sleeping. So this was this little known reason why you may be waking up, which I'm going to share with you now. The liver. What? That's your big secret? Yes. Okay. So the liver, here we go. So if you're waking up between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., chances are your liver is not happy. According to the traditional Chinese medicine qi cycle, the liver plays a role in your health between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. The liver is tied to emotions like anger, resentment, frustration. So if you're feeling any of these, that might be why you're waking up. And if you're waking up between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m., it may be time for a detox. So that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about what you can do to help keep that liver happy so that you can sleep through the night without waking up between 1 and 3 a.m. And I'm going to share with you my 5-step complete detox plan. It's not like a traditional detox, which is mostly about food and adding more greens, although of course those are important parts. But this detox encompasses not only food, but it also encompasses emotional and environmental detox. The first 3 steps that I'm going to go through are all about elimination, and the last 2 steps are about addition. Now, you by no means need to do all 5 steps in a specific order, but I think that there are some steps that you could do early on that will be a very easy transition for you. There might be some, though, that are quite a lot more difficult, so think about that when you're attempting this 5-step detox. So the nice thing about this detox is that although it's geared towards the liver, you can still follow the detox for your general health, and it will help you promote sleep. So I've added in a few extra little tidbits here that are not specific to the liver that can help really anybody. All right, so let's get started. The first one is to eliminate external toxins. So while it's almost impossible to completely remove all of these external toxins from your life, you can definitely take several steps to reduce them. So try to buy organic and all natural products for your home. For example, household cleaners, creams, and other substances that you put in your body, such as shampoo. Reduce heavy metals. And another one that you're probably not going to like me too much for is reduce electromagnetic fields from your electronics. So things like computers, mobile phones. So basically, this is something that I'm sure we've talked about several times in the Sweet Sleep Summit about removing your phone from your bedroom. And the thing is that the trick is really to keep all of your objects outside of the bedroom when you sleep. I do actually use my cell phone as an alarm clock. So what I do is I tend to switch it off to airplane mode so that it doesn't emit the EMF frequencies during the night. So you can try that trick. Another way to use your phone for an alarm clock is to actually put your phone 8 feet away. And this trick is actually probably good for most of you who have issues waking up in the morning. So when you hear that alarm 8 feet away, you actually have to get out of bed and go and turn it off. Yuck, no, that does not sound good to me. So I just want to dive a little bit deeper into the personal care and cleaning products. So sorry, the personal care products. So the skin is the largest organ in your body. So remember that what you apply to your skin is absorbed immediately into your body. So if you're not going to eat it, don't use it on your skin. And the thing is, even organic products may be preserved with toxins. So be careful of things that have mineral oil in the title or things that have chemical names that you don't recognize. So one thing that you can try, and it's quite easy to do at home, is to make your own body lotion. For example, with shea butter, coconut oil, olive oil, and then you can just add in a touch of lavender essential oil or something that smells lovely. Okay, so on to the next. Eliminate toxic emotions and people. So, okay, so I talked to you a little bit about how the liver is really involved in these three emotions: anger, resentment, and frustration. And so the important thing is to really check in with yourself to see if you're struggling with any of these. And although they may not be apparent at first, if you dig deeper, you may be surprised at what you find. So, to check in with yourself and start bringing these emotions to the forefront and actually dealing with them, you can try writing things down that bug you in your journal or in a journal. And other ways that really help with anger and frustration are things like heavy heart pumping exercise. So, going to do some cardio exercise, dancing if that helps you. Punching a pillow is a great thing to do, a punching bag, anything that really gets out your frustration. So, you can totally do what works for you on this one. The one thing that I've used often for resentment specifically is to try writing a letter to the person that you're resenting. So here you can write down a letter saying why you're having an issue, why you resent that person. And either if you're feeling really game, you can give it to them, give them the letter, or throw it away, rip it up and throw it away. The thing is about writing is that getting out that emotion onto paper is just such a liberating experience, and it's really going to help you start to heal. So why do I talk about eliminating toxic people from your life? I'm sure most of you have that one person or two people in your life that really just irk you, that are always really negative, that are, sucking the positive energy out of you, who just, you feel like they're just not understanding where you're coming from. They're always really negative, and every time you see them, it's like, oh my God, not them again. So for me, I know that when I started to realize that I needed to deal with the people in my life, if I was going to be healthy and happy and less stressed and less frustrated and sleep, that I needed to get rid of all these negative people and just stick with the positive people that bring you towards your goals and not away from them. And so what I started to do was really hone in on those specific people who were really not bringing anything to my life. And it's really harsh, but honestly, it was a huge transition for me, and it really took a load off my shoulders. When you have that person that weighs you down, it's like a ton of bricks. So if the hard part is that sometimes it can be a family member. And if that's the case, then what you can do is, if there's a specific topic that really gets your blood boiling when you speak with that person, you can just quietly avoid it or move on to another topic. If it's a friend, if it's not a close friend, I would say, what I did was I just slowly but surely started talking to them less and less. I still keep in touch, but it's not as close of a friendship as it used to be. And I'm not their shoulder to cry on anymore. And I think that that's one of the issues with me, and probably many of you, is that you are just so kind and you love listening to people and helping them, that you become that shoulder to cry on for everyone. And it can be a burden. So this step of the process, of the 5-step process, is really the hardest to get a hang of, because it does take a lot of shift in terms of your thinking, your mindset. And so this is one thing that I really focus on for a long time with my clients, because I feel like often you can just brush it to the side and think that, oh no, I'm not frustrated. I'm not, I don't resent anyone. I'm not angry with anything. But once you start really digging, you do see that all these things come to the surface. All right. Oh, you can always just scream at the top of your lungs too, if that helps. Okay, so, eliminate harmful foods. Sugar is the worst possible thing that you can put in your body. Okay, so let's talk about sugar. All right, so what I really mean here with sugar is to reduce sugar as much as possible. I'm sure you all know that sugar is not very good for your health. It causes a lot of harmful consequences, and it's not great for our kids either because they just get really crazy, which increases your stress too. But what I really mean here with sugar is like, the white sugar, like the sugar that's in this picture, white refined sugar. And so what I want you to try to do is to really be careful when you're purchasing your foods to make sure that there isn't that added sugar in on the label. The easiest way to do that is to just not buy packaged foods, not buy processed foods. And while that might be difficult right now, making these small changes in your daily routine, in your shopping routine, it will get easier over time. So in terms of the processed foods, we want to stay away from additives and preservatives. Really what you want to stay away from is foods that is anything that you can keep in your fridge for 2 years and there's no mold on it. Like, ugh, gross, right? Okay. So you want to stay away from additives and preservatives. You also want to try to reduce your poor quality fats and oils. So poor quality oils like canola, soybean, and corn oil, you don't really want to be using those that often. And the nice thing is that there are so many other good quality oils like olive oil, and we're going to talk about that a little bit as well. So you'll want to reduce those. You'll want to reduce alcohol. I know, I'm sorry. I know, I'm not telling you to get rid of it, but alcohol is definitely not very good for the liver, as I'm sure many of you know back from your high school days, or your young adult days. So try to reduce alcohol as much as possible. For myself, if I'm having a glass of wine, I will try to have it about 2 to 3 hours before I go to bed. Sometimes that's just not possible. And guys, like, you can't be perfect, but as much as possible, definitely try to reduce your alcohol consumption. And also you'll want to reduce the foods that are GMO, genetically modified, and also animals that are fed GMO feed. So there are a lot of animal products that are fed with GMO feed. So you'll want to be looking for things like free range, natural grain, not non-grain fed, things like that. All right, so here we get to the positive stuff. And before we get there, I'm just going to grab a sip of water. Okay, so adding beneficial foods. Ooh, that's my favorite part. Okay, green leafy vegetables. I'm sure you've heard that before many, 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 many times. So green leafy vegetables, you're going to want to add in broccoli, kale, spinach, chard, anything that's really green. And the nice thing about green leafy vegetables is they are so good for you for so many different reasons, not only for your liver, but I know a lot of you probably don't enjoy green leafy vegetables. So an easy way to include them more on your diet is to have them in green smoothies. So I'm sure there's so many recipes that you could find online that are really healthy that just have, 2-3 cups of green leafy veggies. And that's a super easy way to get in your greens for the day. You'll also want to add in fresh fruits. And the thing to remember is that about 30 to 40% of your diet should consist of raw fruits and vegetables. So you should try to include a couple of servings of raw fruits and or vegetables every single day, because they really help your digestion. They contain enzymes, vitamin C, antibiotics, and anti-cancer agents. So raw juicing is another way to gain the benefits of these foods. So you can add some vegetables, green leafy vegetables, fresh fruit into a juicer, and voila, delicious juice, super healthy. All right. And the other thing to remember is really to try to eat the rainbow. So as much as possible, eat all different kinds of fruits and vegetables of different colors. So as you see in the picture here, there's all different colors of fruits and vegetables. That if you're eating that, you're guaranteed to get, all the vitamins and minerals that you really need to support your liver and to support your body so that you can sleep. Another thing that you should be eating more of is fermented foods. So things like sauerkraut and kombucha are some examples. Cultured vegetables and apple cider vinegar. is a great thing to add. And also foods that are rich in probiotics. So things like yogurt and kefir. I'm sure you've seen kefir in the grocery store. It's in a large bottle and it's almost like milk. It's like yogurt and milk, but kind of in the middle. So it's kind of liquidy. It doesn't taste that good, but you can always add it to smoothies or coffee or anything like that. Oh, not coffee. Never mind. I take that back. Yuck. Smoothies. Smoothies, definitely. Other important nutrients to eat more of: vitamin K, which is in green leafy vegetables. So we already talked about that one. Arginine, which is helping to detoxify the liver. And you can find arginine in legumes like beans, peas, lentils, in oats, in walnuts, in wheat germ, and in some seeds. You'll want to have some antioxidants as well, which we talked about, that you can find these in fruits and vegetables. So you can have fresh raw juice and green drinks, particularly citrus and kiwi. You'll want to add some selenium, which is can be found in Brazil nuts, in brown rice, in molasses, seafood, wheat germ, whole grains, garlic, onions. Essential fatty acids are really important for the liver and also for your general health. So you can find that in seafood, in cod liver oil, fish oil, seafood, and other fish, avocado, nuts, seeds, legumes, whole grains, green vegetables, etc., etc., etc. Essential fatty acids are really important to maintain the healthy membranes of your cells, and large amounts are required for healthy liver function. So be sure to make sure that you do get your essential fatty acids. And then sulfur-rich foods. So sulfur-rich foods are foods that have like a really strong kind of smell. So eggs, for example, garlic, onions, leeks, and shallots. Okay. So number 5 is add natural remedies. So this step is really to rebuild your liver's health by using herbs and nutrients that are supportive. And some that are really good for supporting the liver are our B complex, vitamin C, vitamin E, and natural beta carotene. And herbs like milk thistle, turmeric, dandelion, and globe artichoke are a great idea. So there's also other amino acids that are really great for the liver, which you can find definitely online as well. Okay, so following these steps, this 5-step process, I actually started with the nutrition part and the vitamins. So when I first started, I started taking vitamin B and vitamin C specifically. And then I added in some of the other herbs and I changed my diet up a little bit. It's kind of funny because, you know, I'm a health coach, so I really should be eating really healthy. And I always meant to. And I mean, I know what I need to be eating, but sometimes you just get really busy and you let it get away from you. So that was the 5-step process that really brought me back to focusing on what I needed to focus on to really get good sleep and to really feel energized and like I could take on whatever I needed to during the day. So it really helped me to go from being stressed out, from being tired and having no energy, to being a lot more relaxed and feeling awakened and energized. And so if you want to sleep through the night and reduce your stress and have more energy, then I have something that would be perfect for you. And I did say at the beginning of the webinar that I was going to be making a special announcement. So I'm going to do that right now, and I'm so excited. I am officially opening my doors to the Sweet Sleep program, and you guys are the first to hear about it. So I'm so excited to share this with you guys. It's really been something I've been working on for so long. Since I became a health coach, I have been trying to find that one topic that I was like super passionate about, that I knew I needed to help people with. And every time I would talk to a potential client, they would tell me that they didn't sleep, but they didn't And then, oh, well, it's okay. I'm not sleeping. But no, it's not okay. It's not okay that you're not sleeping. And I've done so much research and I've come full circle from where I used to be to where I am now that, guys, it's an amazing feeling to be on the other side. And I just really want you to be there with me and experiencing that bliss of being able to sleep 8 hours. How awesome would that be? So I will tell you a little bit about my program. It's a 12-month private VIP coaching program. And I really like to work one-on-one with my clients because, as I'm sure many of you know, a one-size-fits-all group approach really doesn't work in this case. Sleep is such a compound issue. There are so many things at play. And if you try to make it more general, nobody's going to get results. So I really like to work one-on-one. And what I like to do is really just dig deep in the first call, which is a 90-minute planning call. And what I mean by that is I really dig deep into the issues, the main issues. We go through all the different aspects that we've talked about today and more. So we really figure out what you're eating, what are your sleep habits, what are your physical activity habits, what are your limiting beliefs? Ooh, that's a big one. What are your limiting beliefs? And so much more so that you can finally sleep through the night. We will do, after this one 90-minute call, there are 2 45-minute accountability calls every month. And I like to call these accountability calls because that's what I do. I'm a coach. I'm there to keep you accountable. And one thing that I've heard so many of my clients say is that they know what they need to do, but they just don't have that one person to push them or to keep on track, to keep them on track of their goals. So it's really an accountability session, but it's also a goal setting session. And it's really a session where we can go deep into what we've talked about over the first 90-minute call. What I'll do in that 90-minute call is really develop a plan for you for the year. And then in the 45-minute sessions, the rest of the year, we'll be going into a specific topic that is the most important to you to really get you towards your goal, which is obviously sleeping through the night. So in these 45-minute calls, we'll be talking about 1 or 2 different tasks or resources, things that I'm going to recommend for you to try that I think will get you towards where you want to be the next week. And then we'll come back the following session and we'll reassess and we'll see what worked, what didn't work, what needs some tweaking. And if in between those 2 calls, even if in between the 2 weeks, you're really stuck and you're needing some guidance, I have unlimited email support available as well for all of you. So that if you're feeling stuck and you really need for me to answer a question for you, if you're wanting to try a specific supplement and you're not sure of the dosage, or you're not sure if I think that it'll help you, or you just need someone to bounce ideas off of, that's what I'm here for. And if you think that email sequence isn't going to be enough, then we have 6 15-minute booster calls available as well, where you can really ask me any questions that you want. These booster calls are in addition to the unlimited email and also in addition to the other accountability calls that you have. So in total, for the 12 months, you have 24 calls. The first one is 90 minutes, and then there's going to be 23 other accountability calls. So what I'm going to teach you in this program, of course, everybody's program is going to be structured a bit differently based on your needs. But here's the gist of it. So basically, I'm going to show you how to make life-changing, long-lasting results in all aspects of your life, in your nutrition, in your physical activity, in the way you take care of yourself and your mindset, so that you can sleep through the night. I'm going to show you strategies to reduce your stress and to eliminate that self-talk that's preventing you from achieving the deep sleep you desire. So many people that I've spoken to on the summit, they email me and they're like, well, this is great, but it's not going to work for me. And let me just say that if you have that belief, that will become your reality. So the one really important thing that I need to work on with my clients, and I always work on with my clients, is changing that mindset, making you believe, making you realize that it is possible for you. It is possible for all of you to achieve that deep, restful sleep that you desire. And finally, I'm going to show you simple tips and strategies that you can implement into your daily life that are going to give you a ton of energy. I'm sure you can imagine what it would feel like if in a year from now, you were sleeping 8 hours a night, you were not waking up once, you were feeling relaxed, like you were on top of all of your tasks, of your day, of your life, and that you had so much energy to take on that day. And by the end of the year, if you follow my coaching in this program, you will absolutely get to your goals. So here are a few testimonials from my clients who I've worked with. So Patricia says, if you're looking for the real deal, someone who really cares, who will take you by the hand, be there for you 24/7, and give you the support you need to reach your goals and overcome your obstacles, then Leanne is the coach for you. Maureen says, I was living in overwhelm. I have a business, ongoing online project, a job, and juggling my personal life. Leanne showed me how to implement a prioritized personal list. With her support and accountability, I now make lists. I have more time during my day since I'm not taking the time to remember everything that I need to do. My stress is less, and I'm sleeping better. And finally, Martha says, Leanne made me feel like I could do anything. Her steady support and accepting nature always put me at ease and made me feel encouraged to keep trying. And I just want to tell you guys that I believe that you're here for a reason, that you came on this call today because you're ready to make a change. And because I love you all so, so, so much, and I am so thankful to have been in contact with many of you by email and by Facebook, I really want to make this seem more, make this affordable for you and make this worthwhile for you. And I know that you're ready. And I would like to therefore offer an early bird discount of $500 off of the deposit for the first 5 people who sign up for my Sweet Sleep program. So my deposit normally is $600. And for the first 5 people who sign up for my program, it's going to be $100. So that's $500 off my price. And I'm only offering it to 5 people, so you don't want to miss out. Okay, so how do you take advantage of this program? I want you to just think about, did you get any value from this content, from this webinar? Did you learn something that you can really implement right away? That was really what I wanted from this webinar. I wanted you to get some tips and strategies that you could use right now, that you can go home tonight and start making a change so that you can get that sleep that you so desire. So if you found this content useful, I don't want you to make a decision about this program right now. What I want you to do is to get on the phone with me to discuss your needs, your goals. I'll have you ask me some questions. I'll ask you some questions. And at the end of this 30-minute call, if I think the program is a good fit for you, I will invite you to join. So you don't have to feel pressured to join this program. We're going to talk on the phone, and I'm going to see if this is right for you. And if it is, then then great, I'll invite you. And if it's not, then I'll lead you in the right direction towards finding the resources that I think might work better for you. So how do you schedule a call with me? After this webinar, you're going to receive an email with the subject line that reads "A very special announcement." And that's going to be coming at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or Eastern Daylight Time. So at the scheduled ending of this webinar. So even if we finish a bit early, you won't be getting the email until 9:30 p.m. Eastern. So if you are eager to get started with me and schedule your time to talk, then feel free to simply send me an email right away at leannesoller@gmail.com, which is on the screen here. Or you can reply to any of the emails that you've received from me in the past. Today alone, I think I sent you 3 emails, yesterday 1, Monday 1, so I'm sure you could find one that you could reply to. And all you need to do is say, let's talk, or I want to talk to you, or send me your calendar. And what I'll do then is I will forward you a link to schedule a time to talk with me. And you can choose a time that will work for you. with your schedule. But just remember that I only have a limited number of spots because I do have quite a busy schedule as well. So, so do make sure to email me as soon as you can so that we can get you started. If you wait for the link in the email that you're going to get after this webinar, the link to schedule on my calendar will be included in that email. So you'll be able to directly get to my calendar. I just want to say that I really hope that I get to talk to a lot of you, because I've spoken with so many of you already by email and by phone and by Facebook and Skype, and honestly, you guys just amaze me with all of the wisdom that you've pulled out of these Sweet Sleep interviews and all of the positivity that you're sending my way. And I just love getting to know all of you and putting a voice to the name. So it's time for you now to make a decision. Either you can go back to the life that you lead and do what you've always been doing, or you can make a decision and you can schedule a call with me. It's up to you. So I'll let you make that decision. And with that, I want to say thank you. And I'm going to stop the screen share so that I can say hi. Hello. So I just wanted to say, everybody, thank you for being here. We didn't go that late, so less than an hour. So you guys have lots of time to wind down before bed. If you are in my Eastern time zone, you'll have plenty of time to take your shower and relax and listen to some calming music and maybe read a book before it's time for you to go to sleep. So I just wanted to say thank you again, everybody, for being here. I so appreciate you listening in, and I really would have liked to have question and answer. It would have been so awesome to have the chat option, but hopefully next time I'll be able to figure out these little glitches myself. As you can imagine, I'm not the most tech-savvy person. My primary concern is really being here to serve you. So if you do have any questions for me after this webinar, I would really like for you to email me at leannesoller@gmail.com. You can write to me in the Facebook group. If you search Sweet Sleep with Leanne Soller on Facebook, you'll find our lovely Facebook community, which is at almost 800 members. And you can feel free to post questions, articles, anything that you find really useful. Throughout the summit, we had some really great conversations in there with the experts, and some of the experts are still around answering questions, so that's really awesome. And otherwise, just email me and ask me any question that you might have. I would be happy to help you in any way that I can. So with that, I just want to say, here's to sweet sleep. You all deserve it. And I can't wait to talk to you again. Have a great night. Bye, everybody. Much love.